Hey everyone, this is Corine Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off being thankful, grateful for everything. I'm always thankful. Yes, I'm always thankful for everything. What's good, not so good, what's challenging, what's sad, I don't care what it is, I am thankful because with everything there's a lesson to be learned and you need to ask, what's the lesson you're trying to teach me? I am here, I'm submitting, I'm surrendering, I'm here as your instrument to learn. Yes, I'm coming from a place of childlikeness. Yes, to be able to learn. Yes, and I feel a sense of peace with that. I thank you. So I am here with Eivor. Now don't pronounce her name as Eivor. That is what I thought too, but that's why I made sure I got the pronunciation. It's Eivor Johansson, and she's actually in Sweden at the moment, looking all nice and dandy with her turtleneck and professional. And professional. She looks awesome. And let me tell you a bit about her. But before that, let me tell you what we are talking about. So we're talking about breaking the glass ceiling. Let me say that again. Breaking the glass ceiling. Now, don't go throwing anything at people's houses. But if you want to, then probably try. Don't tell them I sent you. So let me tell you a bit about Eivor. She's a global strategist in human psychology for business acumen. An unshakable optimist. Eivor knows how we will build the future together. As a thought provocateur, she consulted athletes, politicians, and other professionals for over 20 years. She has academically, professionally, and personally researched the old adage, know thyself, and truly knows the authentic missing link for greater business success. And she just told me a while ago off air that she's a psychologist, is it?
Yes, a doctor in psychology.
Yes, she has a doctorate in psychology. So she knows what she's going to be talking about, and she's going to be sharing her journey and how we could break the glass ceiling. So those of you who have wood ceiling, sorry for you. We're only talking to the people with glass ceiling. Welcome, Eivor, to Between the Lines.
Oh, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Corine. I am so honored to be here with you and your audience. Thank you so much for having me on. It's such a pleasure.
It is a pleasure to have you. And you know, tell us a bit about what's happening in Sweden right now. You said it's cold. What's happening in Sweden?
Yeah, it is cold. However, I moved away from Sweden about 30 years ago. It used to be so very cold in the winter times. Now it has changed with the global warming. And even though it's cold today, this is one of the warmest. Last year, last summer, we had tropical weather in Sweden during the summer, which is the first time. Wow. So there is global warming, something called global warming for sure, yes.
Well, I'm in the Caribbean, so it's always warm here. So I guess we have global warming here too. But
blessings to that weather.
Right? We have global warming from January to December, right? It's warm, lovely weather. Isn't that awesome? I don't know if I can live in a cold weather, you know, the changes of temperature and have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with that in the Caribbean. The most we say here is it's very hot. It's just right. It's what do we say now? It's humid or it's rainy. Those are the terms we use here. We don't talk about temperatures. We don't know about temperatures. We just know it's hot, it's chilly, it's just right. That's how we describe temperature.
Oh, that's so good. You know, Corine, I actually, during all these years in New York, I had to decompress a little bit from the city because it's very hectic. I don't know if you've been to New York City, but it is. And so I have actually detoured down to Florida, to Miami a couple of times and stayed for a few years at a time. But I always came back to New York. I love New York. It's
What I know of New York is that it's very busy, and I like how you say you had to kind of decompress from it, or detox
Yes.
yourself from it, because it's very busy, up and down,
Mhm.
people rushing, you know, there's no time. It's just a constant go, 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 go. It could really get on your system. I
Yes.
haven't, I haven't been yet. I haven't been yet. I've been to other places, but not to New York yet. I will one of these days.
It's
But
very
yeah,
nice. Come and visit.
I will, and I'm going to
Yeah.
come and see you. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I need
absolutely.
to see you in Sweden too. So probably we could hop across to Sweden when I come to New York. You never know.
That's great. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
so welcome. I'd love to see you.
Yes, thank you so much. So we're talking about breaking the glass ceiling.
Mhm.
Now, why would we have such a phrase? What do you mean by breaking the glass ceiling? There's a term that people use, don't throw stones in glass houses.
Mhm.
I wonder if that's linked to breaking the glass ceiling. Tell us.
Yeah, so everything is linked together, but here's how I see it. Let me start from the very beginning. Let me just share this with you, Corine,
Mhm.
okay? That number one, the old ways cannot open up new doors. That's very
Ah,
important to
love
feel
that.
that inside of us,
Mhm.
because 2019 is a new reality where we have worked for years, all the way from 2012 to till today, with clearing up, cleaning up everything that has been old patterns and paradigms within our thinking, belief systems, and so on. And here we are creating new from every moment, which is unbelievable. This is something that we all collectively and individually have longed for in our souls for so long, and here we are.
Yeah.
Also, very important to remember, we are all hardwired for immense financial success. We are here to celebrate life over and above everything else. I was born and raised in Sweden, born an indigo child. That means I already knew from the very beginning, from childhood, Corine, that I was hardwired for service. A little bit later, I knew that it was going to be business, where I was going to express my gift, skills, and talents through, which I did in Sweden. I built 3 businesses. They were good, but they weren't great. I didn't know and understand enough how it actually worked to take what my vision, what I saw, my passion, my fire, how to navigate that. So at the age of 27, I moved to New York City to challenge my business acumen.
Nice.
And I worked for a lot of offices, and every time, sales offices, and every time I was the top producer, because I had found something within myself and that was the trust in me that I could always expand beyond what even I thought possible. Didn't quite understand how to put that into the magical formula that I feel that I have today. And that's a part of breaking the glass ceiling.
Mhm.
But I created a business, 2 businesses, one of which was extremely successful. I made millions and millions and millions of dollars
Mhm.
for years and years, helping people, my clients, set up businesses. These were private investors, help them set up their own business all across the country, the US and in Canada, and making sure that they came back to buy more, to expand more, to be happier, have more possibilities in their lives, and so on. So, yeah. The key to all this in breaking the glass ceiling, let me just loop around it a little bit,
Yeah.
was that after many, many years in Manhattan, Corine, I was internally guided
Mhm.
to stop my business, and I was dumbfounded. I didn't understand
Wow.
what was happening. But there was something in my soul that was actually missing. Okay, there were blind spots. They were fears inside of me. I didn't understand how to run the fears, how to use the energy of anger, and how to turn that from being something that I perceived negative into something that was positive. So I went back to Sweden, and I sat down here in something called the Valley of Shadows of Death, or
oh yeah,
or it's called the Dark Night of
the soul. Yes.
So that means that I had to be totally confronted. All my issues, my fears, my shortcomings, or what I perceived at that time like mistakes, shame, guilt, grief, addictions, everything was right in front of my face, and I had no choice, as per my soul design, my human blueprint, to care for it. This is what I'm bringing with me in my teachings today, so that you can feel inspired waking up, super focused on your vision, mission, and utilizing and using your passion to be focused at work or with your home, and then come home and feel really content.
Yeah. What two things I want to talk about? One is you talk about that valley of death, and that comes from Psalm 23. If people don't realize that, and I connected that with Dark Night of the Soul the other day. I'm like, spiritually, that came to me because I'm on that journey, an awakening journey. It never ends. There's no beginning or end. And its spirit came to me and said, hold on. Psalm 23 speaks about, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That is the dark night of the soul. It just came to me the other day. And so when you said it I just felt something. I've never said it to anybody else. You're the first person I'm saying this to, and first person I'm hearing saying it to me of all this time. First person saying it to me. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody says this.
Yes.
Yes. So, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. But here's where it continues. I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So that, listen to me, I'm saying it and my blood is crawling in me. Listen, the dark night of the soul, it is a very lonely, dark, deep, it's like a depressive state. I would love to know your experience with it, but I'm just trying to explain to persons my perception of it. And you can go through it more than once. It's not a one-time thing. You can go through it more than once depending on where you are and on your journey. And when Spirit came back and told me that it's linked back to Psalm 23, that we just roll off our tongues. We just say, you go to church or whatever, and you say it to everybody, no matter what religion you are, knows the 23rd Psalm. And you're saying this, you don't realize that is the dark night of the soul. But the key thing is, which is what hit me, and I need to revert to that psalm again and look back to each word and what it's saying, is that thy rod and thy staff, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. There is comfort there. For thou art with me. God is with you. You feel you're alone because you look around, left, right, top, and bottom. Nobody's there in your physical eyes. But spiritually, He is there. He is there. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. A piece of stick, a piece of wood, thy rod and thy staff. In other words, you have direction. You have something to hold on to. You may not be able to physically see me, know that I'm there, or sense that I'm there, but hold on to this. This is my physical manifestation. And I'm just saying it right now as I'm talking to you. I did not prepare this. As you're talking to me, this is what spiritually is coming to me. Hold on to this, because I know you humans need to have something physical, tangible to hold on to. But hold on to this rod. Hold on to the staff. I am in that. I am going to comfort you. Oh my God, Eivor. That is, this is what came to me. This is what came to me. So I want you to tell me, when you went through your dark night of the soul, that valley of the shadow of death, what was your experience and how you managed it? How you manage it? Because listening to what you shared before, I'm saying to myself, no, she's successful. She made millions. She's living the life. She helped other people to make millions. She's from Sweden. She moved to New York. She's living the life. What would suddenly come into your life to say, give it all up? Are you crazy? Who does that? Who does that? And then you find you're behind, back in Sweden. What is wrong with you? What?
Yes, what's wrong with me is that through all these experiences, Corine, I did not have me. The ingredients, the most important ingredients is me, and I did not have me.
What does that mean? Eivor, what do you mean you didn't have you? I'm seeing you. You traveled to Sweden. You were in New York. What do you mean you didn't have you? Where did you lose you? How could you lose?
I was run by fear. I was run by past memories and future fears. I wasn't in my present moment being able to I wasn't God in action. I was only half a person. I did not truly and fully feel the embodiment of my higher self or the higher spirit. I had lack. I had deficit consciousness.
How you could have deficit consciousness and you were rich? You're living in New York where everybody wants to go.
In my soul. Let me tell you what happened. I came to Sweden, Corine, and what I did here is I was totally guided. I finally heard the voice in my own voice, or we could call it the cosmic intelligence, God, or what have you, whatever you choose. I totally buckled down. I closed the lights, the physical lights.
Mm-hmm.
I put the curtains down. I did not go out and meet my friends that I have here or my family or nothing. And I sat here for the longest time. I just walked across the street to buy my food and everything. But I sat actually for several years walking straight back into myself, because exactly what you're saying, I couldn't do anything else. I had to face me. I had to face my fears, my childhood memories that weren't always so good. I was bullied, and I had a lot of issues with family members, siblings, and so on.
No,
jealous.
Hold on, Eivor. So how did this manifest itself to you? Living a rich life, living the life in New York. How did this happen to you? What was the catalyst that made you realize that you were living in fear of the present and your future, and you had childhood wounds? You were good all along. What happened?
Yeah. No, not at all, because I was dragging it with me, and I felt heavier and heavier. I felt my physical body breaking down. I felt that I wasn't happy. I felt that I was not joyful. I could not hide from the truth of who I am authentically, using my own core values, being embodied into my own physical body and loving it. No. I did not understand, Corine, what self-love was about.
Wow. There are people walking around, Eivor, with this same thing, and you're wondering, you see it in them. They're unhappy to hell. They seek their happiness externally in other people, in their jobs, in their money, the house, the car, the travel, the title, you name it. And I say to myself, if you're stripped of all that shit, if you're stripped of all that, how will you survive?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who
Amen.
are you? And I say it, I watch people and I'm like, look at you. Look at you. You are defined by the position, the title, the power, the car, the people, the entourage, the money. If it is gone, what would you do? Who the hell are you? What? Nobody will know you?
No, and nobody did understand what I was doing, and I did not quite understand in the beginning, but I did come to embrace it. I came to love myself through the fears, through the passages of what I had perceived as blind spots, obstacles, the pain, and the grief, and the I came to meet me. I came to understand by feeling through my physical body. I wasn't anymore running away from my fears. I actually sat down into the fears and I said, I acknowledge you, my fear. I'm sitting, and you know what happens? There is an alchemical change
Yes.
in the physical body that happens.
Yes.
And that is from going from the carbon-based DNA, the thought form, into the crystalline DNA, which is actually going from the three-dimensional thought process of the patriarchal society into the matriarchal society that we're in right now. And where we trust our hearts to guide us, our intuition, our senses. I am a multidimensional sensory. I have all my
being. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't be able to do that without sitting there in the valley of shadows of death.
Oh Jesus! How was it sitting in the valley? How was it? Tell me, how was it sitting in that valley, Eivor? And I'm sure. Let me not say I'm sure. I'm going to ask you. What have you lost? What have you lost? I find people tend to focus on the loss, but I have a reason why I'm asking you that. What have you lost? So how was it sitting in the valley of the shadow of death? How did you manage, and what have you lost?
It was wonderful because I actually started to feel and have totally embraced in every cell of my being. I feel the authentic Eivor, my own human blueprint, my own individuality. And once I realized how much I am me, that brings me in. It sounds like counterintuitive, but in realizing that in that very moment, Corine, I became one with it all. And what I had lost was the programming from many different timelines, the programming from what society expected me to be, how I was supposed to walk, where I was supposed to go, who I was supposed to be. And I lost my ego. I lost the fear. I lost the pain, the suffering. I left that behind.
Wow. Could you totally lose your ego? Your ego is really a part of you. Could you really lose it, or is it that we tend to manage it? We are able to as somebody said to me in a previous episode, it doesn't become the master of you. You are now able to be the master of it. Which is it? Do you lose it, or you are able to?
Okay. I'm very happy that you're asking me the question. This is how I see it. We go through life and we have experiences. And as human beings, depending on where we are in our own evolution, we get attached to people, situations, and circumstances.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we have an emotional charge that we walk around with. Once, what I realized and what I felt sitting in the valley was that the emotional charge disappeared, and what I had left was the data of the experiences, so I didn't have to loop around and come back and do the same thing and same lessons over and over again. But the emotional charge needs to be converge into a higher octave, into a higher frequency. We don't lose it, we use it. I'm happy with we use it as a stepping stone in order to be able to go to a higher frequency. Your higher self is born through the dark night of the soul. It's
Yes,
the
you have to go through.
unconscious. The conscious self is born through the unconscious self.
Oh my God, you have to go through the valley of the shadow of death. So,
Yes.
So for those people who are avoiding it, Eivor, for those people who are running from that dark, lonely, or what they think is lonely, valley, what would you say to them?
Fear not, my child, because you're never alone.
Alone, yeah.
Never alone. You will, on the other side of it is you, and that's who I wanted. I wanted to meet me. And I said to myself, I am ready to lose everything.
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 You are crazy, Eivor. Eivor, you are crazy. You're willing to lose everything. Look here. Lose the car, lose the house, lose the travel, lose the money, lose the life, lose New York. What? No. No.
I realize through being able to lose the fear around it, I gained it all. I had it all. But when we say to lose it all, it's like this, and I know you've heard this. In order to live, you have to die.
Yes.
And that is the fear that the fear, the nervous system needs to lose the charge of the fear in order to gain yourself. It's almost
die
like
unto yourself. Die unto yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to die. In order to live, you have to die. Some people, because that is such a higher level of thinking, they can't grasp that. It's not necessarily a physical, like what we understand in the 3D, a physical death, but it's a physical death. It's a physical death somewhat of the ego. It's a physical death of your fear. You can bury your fears. I mean, you can literally dig a hole and say, I am putting you to rest.
So the fear is actually just an energy. It's a thought that makes you stop in front of yourself and not move past it, and you create your own self-inflicted limitations that way. But the fear is an energy that holds you till you acknowledge it and say, well, fear, I'm here. Now what?
Now what?
And then it releases, it just goes away.
And you know, when you ask that question, you know, now what? You realize, wait a minute, what am I fearful of? Really?
Yeah.
Now what? What can you do me? When you face it, it can't do you anything.
Nothing. It's nothing, but you don't know that till you have walked and come full circle in it. You don't know that till you come full circle.
You mentioned that we are hardwired for success, for finances. Explain that, because a lot of people may not agree with that. They wouldn't be able to understand that. I want to be able to fully understand that. Why do you say that we are hardwired for success or for finance? Because people are struggling. They can't make ends meet. I hear people keep coming to me with, oh, I can't save, or this or that. And I'm like, it doesn't resonate with me. Somehow I'm like, oh, and you're working, you're getting a salary, you're driving a car, how do you mean you cannot do that? There must be something with you. But when they say it, they're not looking within, Eivor. They're not looking within. Tell me, what do you mean when you say we are hardwired? Because that that is a significant, that's like it's in your DNA. You're meant to be abundant. That is how I'm interpreting it. You're meant to be abundant. You're meant to be successful. There's no other way. It's not like the wires are crossed or there's a mistake. Every one of us, there's no mistake. Every one of us, the divine has placed in us success.
Yes.
It is meant to be. So what is really stopping us? I mean, I know it's us, but what is really stopping us from not fully manifesting that hardwired success? Tell me.
That's right. So what I work with my clients, whether it's on a personal level or business, and now more than ever I work with businesses because I have an innate gift, Corine, and that is to see your human blueprint. It's almost like a film that plays in front of me. I can see where in your human blueprint you have lessons still to learn. They could be, for example, and just to loop around to what you're talking about, they could be in finances. The relationship you have to money could be a finite consciousness. You're thinking, I work, I have the money, and what do I need more money for than to buy my food and have the shelter, for example, when in fact that money is an energy that needs to be loved. Money is not the root of all evils, and money doesn't grow on tree, and all of that we've heard over and over and over again. That is a condition. Those are self-inflicted limitations in your thoughts and in your belief system. When you learn how to take that, which you were told as a child or growing up or whatever, when you sit in that and ask, what do I feel with money? What is my relationship with money? For me, money is a beauty. I love money, like I love you, like I love myself. It's an energy. It's an exchange of an energy that we make with each other that has a value to it. And we, as exactly what you're saying, we are hardwired to be extraordinarily successful, to have infinite success, to be infinitely creative, to really, really be able to communicate everything that we have in our guts and in our hearts, and communicate the beautiful vision of love and beautiful passion that is driving us forward. And we can create anything because we have infinite potentials to do it.
Breaking the glass ceiling. So what are you telling us about breaking the glass ceiling? What is the glass ceiling in our discussion that we need to break through from, Eivor?
It is exactly that which I was just referring to. It's breaking through that blind spot. Blind spots are nothing more than a perception. It is a limitation that you yourself created because maybe somebody had told you to break through the glass ceiling. You actually see the sky through the glass. You can break that anytime you want with your thoughts patterns. DNA in your physical body is regulated, is directly measured to your thoughts. You can change your thoughts, change your life. That is actually a fact. It is actually a scientific proof. The science is not a clear fact, but it is actually a proof that once we change our thoughts and change the patterns, and we create new neural paths in our brain, it actually works that way.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of when you were talking, when you said about the sky, when you look out through your window or your glass or whatever, you see the sky. Beyond that, we don't see. But somebody years ago believed that we could reach the moon. They cannot, you see the moon in the sky, and nobody thought it was possible to land on the moon, which means going through different levels of space to
Yes.
actually land on the moon, the thing we see in the sky that we cannot touch or feel.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was crazy enough to think that there would be light. You can flick a switch and there would be light. Somebody was crazy enough to think that we can fly. You know, we can move from one place to the next and fly. You know, crazy things like that, which is why somebody thought about a phone that you can use to call people all over the world, or somebody thought about creating a platform that allows two people to speak like this.
Amen.
In different time zones and cross time. This is crossing time. Okay.
And it is you and me that are here, Corine, your platform, my platform, what you do, what I do here, to inspire others to understand and feel deep down into their cellular selves that it is possible.
Yes. Yeah. And the glass ceiling is not, I want to reiterate if we didn't say it before, but let me just say it again. It is not a glass ceiling in terms of limiting to a goal. So for example, you have a vision, you want to achieve it. A glass ceiling can be anything. It could be a job. It could be your relationship. It could be your relationship with source. It could be you, meaning I want to be able to look better, feel better. I want to be able to be the best dancer. I want to be able to be a race car driver. A glass ceiling is anything. And the reason why it's glass is because it's easy to break, which means to say that you can challenge that. You can challenge that glass ceiling, not because it's glass and it's above you and not within hand's reach. You can't get to it.
Yes.
It is not unattainable. It is not unreachable.
So let me just say this, because you mentioned dance. I have owned a dance school. I used to own a dance school for many years in Sweden, and I saw that you're interested in dance. I love kizumba too.
Oh, I love salsa
too.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
And today I enjoy my body more than any other time, because I'm more flexible and fluid, and I can do things in kizumba that I didn't even think I could years ago. That's breaking the glass ceiling. Yeah.
Do you find as you talk about as you got older, and as we get older, do you find, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you find that things are better when you're older? I have another friend, female friend, and she says, oh my God, she just loved being in her 40s. This is just like the best time of her life.
Yes.
Do you find that, and I just spoke to somebody who is in their 70s, and she's not looking anything in her 70s, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Do you find that you're enjoying it better in your as you get older, as you mature, compared to when you were younger? What just for you, because probably the younger generation may say they're enjoying their life now because it's a different time for them. They have more freedom of information access than what we had. What is your personal take on it?
Okay, first of all, when I was a child, Corine, I knew that I was not going to come into myself until much later in life. And here I am. I'm going to be 64 on the 1st of April.
Wow.
How about that? And I feel greater than at any other time in my life. I feel fantastic. I walked through the valley. I'm here. I'm still. I'm happier than at any other time. And for me, it got better because today I understand who I am.
Yes. Isn't there a joy? Isn't there a joy that comes with that? I mean, what are people missing out on, Eva? I mean, my God, to just be authentic, to be you, to love you, to do you, to just be.
Yes, amen to that, because that is the absolute truth. The truth of feeling the joy, creating the balance and harmony in your life so that you can go out and inspire and empower others to do the same. This is the time more than at any other time for all of us to come together to really, truly inspire other people. Amen to that, Corine.
Yeah. And don't you find that when you have discovered that who you really are, you have broken the glass ceiling or glass ceilings, let me pluralize it.
Yes.
You know, you challenge yourself, that you start attracting different types of people into your life that is on the same journey, or you know, that's living for themselves. You start to attract a different set of people that brings more joy to you. You're vibrating at a higher level. You're suddenly people who are not of that start to shed, delete themselves, self-delete, self-eliminate, or you delete them, or something. Don't you find that your life and your quality of life is different, and you've learned to set boundaries. You have a zero tolerance for certain things, and you start to adapt to the environment like a chameleon, and you realize, hold on, I am not going to tolerate this, and this is how I am going to reset and reprogram so that this doesn't affect me, because I am vibrating at this level. Those other people are vibrating at a level below me, and I am not going to meet them down there. So I am going to be operating here. Do you find that's happening to you?
100%. The cosmic or the universal synchronicity does not come from anything else than your own authentic self. And that is so important. What you're saying is to, if we just put one word to what you're saying, to learn how to discern. Discernment is very important. Is this for me? No? Then I move out of it. And if it's for me, then you embrace it, and you stay within that concentric circle. It's almost like the Olympic rings. This is how we are as, it's called Vesica Pisca, but it's something we are actually together. But you can choose and say, no, I don't like this, and walk off without apologizing for who you are.
Of course, you don't owe anybody. Hold on, you don't owe anybody an explanation, Eivor.
Never.
What you have to explain? Who you have to explain to? Why? You don't have to give anybody any excuse, reason, justification, convince them. You just say no.
Absolutely, 1000%. And I wish that more sisters and brothers, we collectively would be able to say, no. Is no.
No. It's a simple thing. Practice it. Yes. No. Wake up in the morning and just say no. No. Yeah. Whole day. Just take a whole day and just say no. Look yourself in the mirror. No.
Because I want to live. I choose to live. I choose life. I choose joy.
Yeah. It's awesome. Just practice no. If you don't get anything from this episode, just practice saying no.
Let me share with you, because I'm just going to roll back a little bit here. You mentioned something, to meet life from a childlike consciousness. What I do with my clients, not in business, or they could be in business, is that I take, if need be, for that particular person, I take them from the wounded child to the magical child.
Nice.
And the magical child, Corine, is your higher self disguised as that childlike, the playful part in you that is not afraid, that takes leap of faith, that plays around and dances kizumba. How about that?
Yeah. Do you know, just to cut you there for a second, when you look at a child, if we really observe children, even though we try to stop them in their tracks, which is not a good thing, children are so innocent, they don't know fear. They would jump over things, and you would be scared to do that or scared to see them jump. And we start putting in fear from that age in children. Don't go there. Don't do it. If they fall, so what? If they get hurt, so what? You know, it might be frustrating, it might be painful to you, but they would learn, don't jump there again, or be careful if how they're jumping, or they put something in place. But they're so innocent. They have dreams, goals that may seem to you, an adult looking on, as unrealistic. Who are you to determine that? Why do we stop them? So if we go back into our childlike state, that is true living. But when you do that, Eva, as an adult, people look at you and say, why don't you grow up? Why don't you?
I don't want to.
Exactly. That's what I say.
I found the kingdom of heaven only when I allowed myself to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I don't care who listens, I don't care who judged me, because I don't judge myself.
Exactly. And God is not going to judge you because you're a child of His. So if you're a child of His, He allows you to do what you want. You do your thing. Once you're not hurting anybody, just do your thing.
I know. Wonderful. Wow.
Yeah, you do your thing. He loves to see you having fun, eating, drinking, living life. That's what He wants. That's what He wants. So why are people stopping you, or you allowing people to stop you from living, from being who you are?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Eva, I want to hop across to your website. Tell me, what's your website again?
ejconsultancy.com. There is the free assessment on there, and I'm going to ask your listeners and viewers that I usually take 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to offer your platform 30 minutes or more if they need, so that I can just help them to see what it is that I can assist them with. This is very much for actually, this is from Wall Street. This is all about that female little girl that's shy, standing in front of the bull market.
Yeah, this is a significant, I'm trying to get it here. It just went dark for a minute. I don't know. Yeah, it went dark for a minute. Let me see if I could refresh.
Well, it is because you're hovering over
it. I'm hovering on it. This bull, isn't that a bull? Isn't that a bull on Wall Street? Is it Wall Street?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is she doing?
The little girl that's standing in front, fearless, you know.
Really? So this is actually there, that little girl?
That's right.
Oh my goodness, what the hell is she doing in front of the bull? She's not afraid.
It's the female part in you. It's the child in you.
Oh my God. So you can do a free assessment. Let me click.
Yes. And that free assessment goes into a so that you could just register with me, so I know who needs it, and that goes into to a scheduling page, so I could help you out. But you could also, if you click into the last to the contact page, you can also get me directly through telephones or to the Okay,
hold on. I wasn't seeing your image showing up here, so I had to minimize it. I don't know why it's not showing up. That's all right.
That's speed. You like speed, so and that is the speed, is the frequency of our thoughts, and
that is exactly it. How you know I like speed? I love speed.
Me too.
You like speed. You like speed. We love high frequency, everything. And this is lovely. I love this vehicle. What is it?
It's a Koenigsegg. It's actually the first mega car, the first world's mega car, and it's built in Sweden.
Nice. So you see, that's one of the things on the to-do list when I get to Sweden.
Yes.
Yes. We're going to look up this car, and we're going to drive in it, and we're going to be taking pictures with it. Yay. Yeah, so this is good. So persons can contact you. And let me go back here.
And I want them to really not be concerned, because I deal with every single blind spot, addictions, whatever area it is in, it doesn't matter. Addictions is actually you standing in front of a lesson. It's nothing to be shameful of. It's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah.
I have cared for it all. There's nothing that you have, your clients have, that I have not taken care of within myself. We don't have to, sometimes we don't have to be drug addicts to understand what addictions are. There is a principle of how we operate. I've had my own addictions, and I have addictions to people, to success, to
Nice. I say you have an ebook here.
Yes.
7 little secrets to up-level your business acumen. Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. So you give some secrets here, so people can scroll through.
And I would like to say, Corine, to your platform, do not hesitate to contact me. I'd love to feel the contact with you, how I can help you out, because that's what's going, when we touch each other, that's going to spark something new within you that is productive, that is breaking through a thought pattern or whatever it is, and it is free. So do it. And then if you do need help, it's going to be easy for you and me to take care of that.
Beautiful. So, beautiful. And I love the free assessment here, which is also on the first page, the front page. So they can take care of this free assessment. Awesome.
Definitely.
And let me just click on the about here.
Yeah, that's the
oh, it's all about cars for you, Eivor.
Accelerate. I love speed. What can I tell you?
Quantum belief and accelerate your need for speed. That's why you have Fast and Furious. They need to put you in the movie. Fast and Furious.
I was actually in the motion picture and television business. I owned a casting agency in New York City with my partner, and we did Godzilla, Independence Day, Die Hard 3 with Nicolas Cage, the Hurricane Carter with
Are you serious?
Denzel Washington. Yeah.
Are you serious? Yes. No. I need to become best friends with you.
Almost 7 years.
I need to become best friends with you, Eivor, so that you can hook me up with Denzel.
We are already.
This is awesome. I'm going to check out that free assessment. So you would look out for my name there. Yeah. And you can offer me, use me as the first person from on my show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yes. That'll be awesome. Any final thoughts to wrap up the show?
The key to all this, whether we talk about the valley, or we talk about success or breaking the glass ceiling, it is all about going inside and down. Breathe deeply. Take 3 deep breaths and into the very pelvic floor of yourself, and ask yourself every day, what is my most immediate next step? And you will be guided.
Yes. Ask.
Yes.
It goes back. Ask.
That's
Seek
right.
and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Seek. Ask. The answers will come to you. If you don't ask, you wouldn't get an answer.
Amen.
Seek and you shall find. All the answers are there biblically, you know. If we only only listen. Everything that we need to guide our lives, our decisions.
Yes.
Biblically, it is there. We just have to be open to it. We just feel, we could do it the DIY approach. Do it yourself. And then in a last resort, a last ditch, we reach out to the universe, source, God, Christ, whatever people want to call it. But you're supposed to go to him first.
Yes. So my final thoughts is this. I love you, Corine.
I love you more.
Who you are and what you do. I love you. I love you. I love you. And to your audience, I send them to your success in feeling and being you.
I love you more, Eivor. Honestly, I love you more. You have given me so much to think about. This entire day has been a day of interviews. I'm interviewing you. I've been interviewing people on my show, and I've been interviewed today. And everything that has been discussed today from morning till now is all about this whole awakening and growth and evolving.
Yeah.
And I, in listening to you and in this discussion, I'm saying to myself, what should I do after this? I can't do anything. I can't spoil the day. My spirit told me, don't do anything. So I have to soak in this. I have to soak in this for the rest of the day. I am not meant to do anything.
That's
I
right.
am serious. I have to soak in this because the vibrational energy of this discussion and the past, the others have done and what I've been interviewed on, it's one that has me on a vibration. Anything that I do to interrupt that at this point is not going to work for me. I have to stay in this energy field. I have to. And my spirit is telling me that, and I follow my spirit. I follow my inner being. So that's what it is. And I thank you for helping me to continue on that vibrational frequency, for me to ponder. Oh my God. And as I say it, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it stronger and stronger in me. I just, oh my God, I'm so thankful. I need to stay in this energy for the rest of the day and until source tells me otherwise. It was meant for me to do this today, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, Eivor Johansson from Sweden, from New York. I thank you. I thank you so much for being on Between the Lines and sharing this. And I really hope that others can join us on this journey and realize that letting go, there's so much more. Breaking that glass ceiling, you break that ceiling, you're open to the entire universe, the sky, the moon, the stars, the galaxies. Just break the damn ceiling. Thank you so much, Eivor.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.